Pakistan 8th most dangerous country in the world. Country Threat Index. Recently released Country Threat Index by US-based intelligence think tank Intel Center has placed Pakistan 8th in the list of the most dangerous countries in the world as of March 2015. Top 10 most dangerous countries in the world rank: Country 1 Iraq, 2 Syria, 3 Nigeria, 4 Somalia, 5 Afghanistan, 6 Libya, 7 Yemen, 8 Pakistan, 9 Ukraine, 10 Egypt. Pakistan and Afghanistan are the only two South Asian countries in the list. The rankings were prepared based upon CTI after examining the volume of terrorist and rebel alerts, messaging traffic, videos, photos, incidents and the number of killed and injured in a country over the past 30 days. Intel Center is a Washington-based company established in 1989. It works globally for intelligence agencies by providing them counterterrorism intelligence services. Pedro Cateriano Bellido appointed as Prime Minister of Peru. Pedro Cateriano Bellido was appointed as Prime Minister of Peru by the President Ollanta Humala. He will replace Ana Jara, who had lost a confidence vote and was sacked by Peruvian Congress amid allegations of corruption. India elected to 4 key bodies of UN ECOSOC. India was elected to 4 key bodies of the United Nations Economic and Social Council, UN ECOSOC. India was elected to these bodies during ECOSOC's coordination and management meeting held at UN headquarters in New York, United States, US, by acclamation, that is form of election that does not use a ballot. 4 key subsidiary bodies are Executive Board of United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. India is elected for a 3-year term begin in January 2016. It was elected, along with 13 other nations. Executive Board of World Food Programme, WFP. India is re-elected to the for a 2-year period starting from January 2016, along with 5 other nations. Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, CCPCJ. India is elected for a 3-year period starting from January 2016. India was elected along with 19 other nations. Some of them are Iran, Pakistan, Austria, France, Saudi Arabia, Sweden and US. Governing Council of United Nations Human Settlements Programme, UN Habitat. India is elected for a 3-year period starting from January 2016 along with 13 other nations. With this, India has created significant 100% record of winning the ECOSOC elections. Asteroid 316201 named after Malala Yousafzai. Asteroid 316201 was named as 316201 Malala after the youngest Nobel laureate and girls' education campaigner Malala Yousafzai. The asteroid was named after her by Amy Mainzer, astronomer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California, United States under the International Astronomical Union rules. In 2010, Mainzer had discovered the asteroid which was known as 316201. As a discoverer of the asteroid, she had owned the rights to name it. Asteroid 316201 Malala is located in the main belt between Mars and Jupiter. It orbits around the Sun every 5.5 years and is more than 2 miles wide. India to chair 9th International Renewable Energy Agency Council meet. India is going to chair the 9th International Renewable Energy Agency Council meeting to be held in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. The 9th IENA Council is scheduled to start from the 10th of June 2015 and will be a 2-day event. In this meeting, 21 member nations of IENA Council are going to take part. They will guide the agency's future programs and activities. About International Renewable Energy Agency. IENA is an intergovernmental organization to promote adoption and sustainable use of renewable energy. It is the global hub for renewable renewable energy cooperation and information exchange within its member nations. Founded in 2009 and its statute entered into force on the 8th of July 2010. Headquarters, Abu Dhabi. 2. Governing structure. IENA Assembly, which takes decisions at macro level and gives policy guidance. IENA Council is main governing body and is responsible for implementing various decisions of Assembly. Members. In total it has 140 members. India is one of the 33 permanent and founder members of IENA. German Nobel laureate novelist Günter Grass passes away. German Nobel laureate novelist Günter Grass passed away on the 12th of April 2015 in Berlin. He was 87. Grass is recognized for his efforts to revive German culture in the aftermath of World War II and also had given voice and support to democratic discourse in the post-war Germany. Lewis Hamilton wins Chinese Grand Prix of Formula One. Mercedes Formula One driver Lewis Hamilton from Britain on the 12th of April 2015 won Chinese Grand Prix of Formula One on the Shanghai International Circuit in China. This was his second win of the season and his fourth Chinese Grand Prix win. It was also Lewis Hamilton's overall 35th Grand Prix win. In Chinese Grand Prix, Hamilton was followed by teammate Nico Rosberg at second place. Turkey begins construction of first nuclear power plant. Turkey on the 14th of April 2015 began the construction of its first nuclear power plant located at Akka in Mersin province on the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. It will be built by Akka Project Company, a subsidiary of Russia's nuclear agency Rosatom. Key facts: in 2010, Turkey and Russia had signed an agreement to set up $20 billion Akka nuclear project. Akka Project Company will own, build and operate the plant that comprises 4 1,200 megawatts units. The site was chosen at Akka by Turkish government because it has low population density and low risk of earthquakes. Russia, Pakistan to hold first ever joint military. Russia and Pakistan have agreed to hold first ever joint military exercises as part of their enhanced defense cooperation. In this regard, an agreement was reached between both nations during a meeting between Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and his Pakistani counterpart Qawm Asif in Moscow. As per the agreement, both nations will strive for enhancing cooperation in defense industry and military training, promoting joint participation in military exercises, increasing military cooperation in training and import of arms and equipment, resolving conflicts through diplomatic means rather than using of force. Canada to supply uranium to India for 5 years. Canada has agreed to supply 3,000 metric tons of uranium to India under a $254 million 5-year deal to power Indian atomic reactors. The agreement for uranium supply was signed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi along with his Canadian counterpart Stephen Harper after comprehensive talks in Ottawa, Canada. Centre Party wins parliamentary elections of Finland, ousts incumbent PM Alexander Stubb. Finland's opposition Centre Party has won the general election 2015 by defeating the left-right coalition National Coalition Party of incumbent Prime Minister Alexander Stubb. With this win, Centre Party's leader Juha Sipilä, a 90-millionaire and newcomer to country's politics, is set to become Finland's next prime minister. In this election, Juha Sipilä's Centre Party has won 42 seats in the 200 seats of parliament and Finns Party, formerly known as True Finns, was runner-up by winning 38 seats in parliament, while the ruling coalition party has won 37 seats and the Social Democratic Party got 34 seats. NASA develops first 3D printed copper rocket engine part. NASA engineers have developed the first full-scale 3-dimensional, 3D, printed copper rocket engine part. The part developed was a combustion chamber liner that operates at extreme temperatures and pressures using additive manufacturing technique. Combustion chamber was manufactured by using selective laser melting machine in a laboratory located in Marshall Space Flight Center's Materials and Processing. The machine had fused 8,255 layers of copper powder to make the chamber in 10 days and 18 hours. The raw material used was Greco-84, a copper alloy created by scientists at NASA's Glenn Research Center in Ohio. This alloy has an extensive materials characterization which helped engineers to validate the 3D printing processing parameters and ensure build quality. 3D printing or additive manufacturing technique has the potential to reduce the time and cost of making rocket parts. It can help to manufacture engine parts 10 times faster and reduce the cost by more than 50%. Japan's Maglev train makes new world speed record. Japan's state-of-the-art magnetic levitation technology, Maglev, train has clocked a new world speed record, smashing through the 603 km/h mark in a test run near Mount Fuji. The new record has surpassed its previous record of 581 km/h, which was set in 2003. Central Japan Railway Company owns this fastest passenger train and is planning to have a train in service in 2027 on the 286 km route between Tokyo and the central city of Nagoya. Xi Jinping conferred with Nishani Pakistan Award. Pakistan government on the 21st of April 2015 conferred Nishani Pakistan, top civilian award on Chinese President Xi Jinping. He was bestowed with this award for his outstanding contribution in promotion of relationship between the two countries by Pakistan President Mamnoon Hussain. Calbuco volcano erupts in Chile. Calbuco volcano in southern Chile erupted on the 23rd of April 2015 for the first time after more than 42 years. It had erupted twice in the space of a few hours, which led to billowing of huge ash cloud over a sparsely populated, mountainous area in southern Chile. Chilean government authorities after the eruption have ordered evacuation of the 1,500 inhabitants of the nearby towns. Russia, Argentina sign agreements on economic and energy cooperation. Russia and Argentina have signed a series of framework agreements on economic and energy cooperation. These agreements were signed following talks between Argentine President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner and her counterpart Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Both leaders hailed their cooperation as a comprehensive strategic partnership. The signed agreements include Russian investment in a hydroelectric plant in Argentina's Neuquén River, Russia's Rosatom nuclear corporation to build a new reactor at Argentina's Atacha 3 nuclear power plant. Memorandum of Cooperation, MOC, on defense between both nations. Indian-American Dr. Vivek Murthy takes oath as U.S. Surgeon General. Indian-American Dr. Vivek Murthy was sworn in as the U.S. Surgeon General on the 23rd of April 2015. He was administered oath by U.S. Vice President Joe Biden at a ceremony held at Fort Myron, Virginia. Vivek Murthy is 19th U.S. Surgeon General and youngest ever, 37-year-old, to become in charge of the country's public health. With this appointment, he is also the highest-ranking Indian American in the Obama administration. 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck Nepal. A high-intensity earthquake of magnitude 7.8 on the Richter scale had struck central Nepal between its capital Kathmandu and the city of Pokhara on the 25th of April 2015. Earthquake's epicenter was 80 kilometers east of Pokhara near Kathmandu. It had a depth of only 11 kilometers, 7 miles. That is, in geological terms, it was a shallow depth. The intensity of this earthquake was high due to its shallower depth, which had more destructive power. It has resulted in thousands of deaths and tremendous loss of property. The tremors of this quake were felt in North Indian states of Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Assam, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Haryana, and Punjab. The tremors were also reported in Pakistan and Bangladesh. Earlier, Nepal had suffered its worst recorded earthquake in 1934. It was measured 8.0 and had destroyed the cities of Kathmandu, Baktapur and Patan. Reasons for catastrophic earthquake in Nepal. This earthquake in Nepal may have occurred because of two converging tectonic plates, the India Plate and the overriding Eurasian Plate. These tectonic plates are the large, thin, relatively rigid and are moving relative to one another on the outer surface of the Earth. Both of these plates are slowly moving and sometimes get stuck at their edges due to friction. Earthquake might have occurred because of these overriding plates after the stress on the edge overcomes the friction. It releases tremendous energy in form of waves that travel through the Earth's crust and causes earthquake on the surface. India ranked 117 in world. India was placed at 117th position in the recently released World Happiness Report 2015 among the 158 studied nations. The report was published by the United Nations, UN, Sustainable Development Solutions Network, STSN. Key facts from report: top 5 countries: Switzerland, 1st, Iceland, 2nd, Denmark, 3rd, Norway, 4th, and Canada, 5th. Bottom 5 countries: Rwanda, 154th, Benin, 155th, Syria, 156th, Burundi, 157th, and Togo, 158th. Other countries: United States, 15th, United Kingdom, 21st, Japan, 46th, and China, 84th. India is ranked below countries like Pakistan, 81st, Bangladesh, 109th, Ukraine, 111th, and Iraq, 112th. Egypt President Morsi jailed for 20 years. An Egyptian criminal court sentenced ousted President Mohamed Morsi to 20 years in prison over the killing of protesters in 2012. The case stems from violence outside the presidential palace in December 2012. Morsi's supporters attacked opposition protesters, sparking clashes that killed at least 10 people. Peter Jan Graaf of Netherlands appointed as head of UN Mission for Ebola Emergency Response. United Nations has nominated Peter Jan Graaf of the Netherlands as the new chief of UN Mission for Ebola Emergency Response. He will replace Mauritanian diplomat Ismail Cheikh Ahmed, who was recently appointed as special UN envoy for Yemen. With this appointment, Peter Jan Graaf will work closely with Special Envoy on Ebola David Nabarro, along with governments in the region. Sudan President Omar Al-Bashir re-elected with 94% of vote. Sudan's President Omar Al-Bashir has won presidential re-election by securing 94% of the vote. With this win, he will have additional term of 5 years in office, which will extend his current 25-year rule. He is in power since 1989. In this election, Omar's National Congress Party also won 323 of 426 parliamentary seats. Omar is facing war crimes charges and is wanted by the International Criminal Court of ordering genocide in the Darfur conflict in 2003, in which the UN estimates 300,000 people had died and more than 2 million displaced. Loretta Lynch sworn in as first black female Attorney General of U.S. Loretta Lynch has sworn in as United States' first African-American woman Attorney General. She is 83rd Attorney General of country. Loretta Lynch succeeded Eric Holder, who left the position on April 24, 2015 after serving Attorney General for 6 years. Earlier, her appointment was confirmed by Senate on April 23, 2015. Prior to this appointment, she had served as U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, which encompasses much part of New York City. Mohammed bin Nayef, appointed as Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia by King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Mohammed bin Nayef was appointed as Crown Prince and as Deputy Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia by King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. This appointment relieved Crown Prince Mukran bin Abdulaziz from his duties and comes during a major cabinet reshuffle. Prior to this appointment, he was Interior Minister of the Kingdom, while King's son, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, was appointed Deputy Crown Prince. Saudi Arabia's ambassador to United States Adel Al-Jubeir was appointed as the Foreign Minister. He replaced Prince Saud Al-Faisal, while Khalid Al-Falih was appointed as the Health Minister and Chairman of Saudi Aramco. King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud had acceded to the throne in January 2015 after the death of his half-brother Abdullah bin Abdulaziz, who was Saudi Arabia's de facto leader for 10 years. Seychelles became 161st member of WTO. With this, Seychelles' archipelago of 90,000 inhabitants became one of its smallest members. Besides, Seychelles is also the 33rd government to accede to the rules-based multilateral trading system through Article 12 negotiations since the WTO was established in 1995. This approval by WTO ended the 20-year-long wait of the country for becoming a member of WTO, as the country was negotiating its accession terms since the 31st of May 1995. Japan and the US revised defense deal after 18 years to deal with growing global security concern. Japan and the United States signed a new set of defense agreements on the 27th of April 2015 that allow for greater cooperation between their militaries. Both the countries have revised their defense deal after 18 years to deal with growing global security concern. The agreement was signed by the US Secretary of State, John Kerry, and Defense Secretary, Ashton Carter, and the Japanese Foreign Minister, Fumio Kishida, and Defense Minister, Gen Nakatani. The agreement in the form of new guidelines was released at the start of an official visit to the US by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. The guidelines allow for global cooperation militarily, ranging from defense against ballistic missile, cyber and space attacks as well as maritime security. It also allows the exercise of the right to collective self-defense, that is, Japan could shoot down missiles heading toward the United States and come to the aid of third countries under attack. The new guidelines would also allow the US and Japanese militaries to work more closely together in the event of a conflict in the East China Sea or in North Korea.